So after countless requests, and I do mean countless comments, I finally got round to recreating Arteta's Arsenal tactics. It took me a long time, but I wanted to make sure it was accurate and performed really, really well. And at its best, this tactic scores over 4 goals a game, and it got close to doing that in the Premier League. Let's get into it. But firstly, it is of course going to be Arsenal, but we actually win the quadruple. That is not to be mistaken. We win the quadruple. That is going to be Arsenal coming into the Premier League, winning it with 109 points. The FA Cup, we're going to win very comfortably in a 7-1 final over Manchester United. Sorry to the United fans. Carabao Cup, we come in and we win 5-2 against Manchester United. Sorry against the United fans once again. And the Community Shield is going to be a 5-1 win over Manchester City. This tactic absolutely cooks. It really, really does. Could be potentially up there with the best 4-2-3 ones I've posted on this channel. The only disappointment would be the Champions League, but it is quite hard to feel angry about that when we've been this dominant across every other competition. The Premier League, again, we lose one game, draw the other game, the loss comes in against the likes of Manchester United. They got one on us. That's the only thing they ruined. The draw is going to be against Chelsea, and a 36 wins is against, well, everybody else. And as you can see right now, it's going to be Martinelli with 34 goals, Gabriel Jesus coming in with 30. Average rating, Martinelli finishes rank 1, Saka in P2. Assist-wise, Martinelli with 23, Odegaard with 18, and Zinchenko coming in with 18 as well, who really turned up, obviously, towards the end of the season where it really, really mattered. Raya picks up the most clean sheets as well, so we were really doing everything very, very well. Most points per game, most goals over 140. The most shots are getting on for nearly 1,000, which is ridiculous. Fewer shots against at 177. Possession-wise, we are going to be up there, as we should be with Arsenal, with 57% of the ball. Most dribbles being made at basically 800, fewest conceded at 23, and the most clean sheets coming in as well at 22, which is very good, because we're conceding less than Liverpool, Man City, etc, etc. So we really did put some of these big teams to shame with this Arsenal team. Going over to the data hub, it's going to be 3.74 goals per game, only 0.61 conceded, basically 25 shots a game, if you want to be exact, 24.97, an 88% pass completion, and a tackle win ratio coming in of 76.92. What happened then, Manchester United? A 7-1 defeat in this FA Cup final, of course. We got off to a flyer of a start with a penalty and a great set piece. Declan Rice finishing off right there. Ben White into Odegaard, who gives it back to Ben White, down the right-hand side, into the middle, into Jesus, who just beats his man there at the near post and beats Onana as well. Martinelli driving at everyone, plays a beautiful ball into the box, into Saka. At this point, we are 4-0 up. Now, to be fair to Manchester United, actually I'm not going to be fair, they got absolutely humiliated as we go through again and score again. 5-0 up at this point, make it 6, a great ball in, and an even better header there from Gabriel. And it looks like they actually do a good bit of passing there, but it's going to be a mistake finally as Jesus makes it 7-0. They get a consolation, and I'm sorry, if any United fan celebrated this in the stands, you need to seriously get your head checked, because that is a humiliating defeat, and they did actually come out and they played a full-strength team. Embarrassing. Up next, and of course, it is going to be Real Sociedad. Now, this team is definitely not favoured to win the league, and we just about got it done. Now, I will say, obviously not as dominant as Arsenal. They are not the best team in this league at all. We do lose 6 games, we draw 4, but we do win 28, so still a very deserved season in my opinion. Barcelona in second, Real Madrid coming in third, and Bilbao making up the last of the Champions League places, while Atletico Madrid just about get some form of European football. Both of the cups, I'm going to be honest, weren't the best of the best, but again, not fussed at all, because we were really good in the Spanish First Division. And if we go over and look, we actually also got the top goal scorer, the highest average rating, and also the joint 1 and 2 placed assist. Mendes and obviously Adriozola coming in there, the previous Real Madrid man, picking up 13 assists. Now going over to the team stats, on this occasion, we are not going to be the best at clean sheets or the fewest conceded. Probably to be expected, we're not the sort of same powerhouse or up there with the best teams like an Arsenal is in the Premier League. Fewer shots against at 221. The most shots coming in also for us at 748. The most goals, and this is a real impressive stat, because we're outscoring Madrid, Barcelona. Some of these teams are crazy, you know, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham. I don't need to carry on. So many players that can outscore us, and we've come out and quite embarrassed them, to be honest. Most points per game as well at 2.32. And the data hub is going to be the real tale. It is going to be 2.87 goals per game, conceded at just 1 a game, which, to be honest, I usually don't like, but we are Real Sociedad, playing quite an aggressive tactic, and we're nearly scoring 3 goals a game, so I'm not going to complain today. A tackle win ratio of 76%, nearly an 89% pass completion, and practically 20 shots a game. We seem to be doing everything. We really go toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in this division, actually getting off to a very good start here against Atletico Madrid. Awful for them at the back, as it is going to be Sadiq going through and making it 1-0 inside of 52 seconds. A very positive start there. Zubamendi plays it back into the midfield. It is going to be into Marino, who's going to go through and just absolutely lump it past Oblak into the top left-hand corner. One more goal to come now towards the end of the game. Playing it out from the back. Really good pass and play, actually, which we're used to seeing from Arsenal. Replicated with Real Sociedad. A beautiful chip and a 3-0 win against a very strong-looking Atletico Madrid team. Of course, for those who didn't know, Arteta did play for Rangers for a little bit, so I thought, you know what, let's get Rangers involved, and we come out and put on an absolute masterclass, only losing 2 games, which is going to be against Celtic and Dundee. Of course, Celtic are in there, but we do win very comfortably this league. Danilo, and it is going to be Seema picking up 27 and 24 goals. Seema, Tavernier, and it is going to be Matondo coming in with every single match rate, and we're going to dominate, to be honest. 8.02, 7.93, and 7.68 assist-wise. We're also going to happily claim all 3. Tavernier, Seema, and obviously Todd Cantwell. Let me know, Rangers fans, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is Todd Cantwell in real life? I don't watch Scottish football. I want to know. Let me know in the comments. Going over to the stats as well. We are going to go and have a look, and we are going to feature in a lot of things. Most points per game, most goals at 159, 1 off 160. Absolutely embarrassing Celtic. Most shots over 950, fewer shots against 200. Possession-wise, second place just behind Celtic there. But what we do favour over them is, well, a lot of stuff. Also, the most dribbles being made and the fewest conceded. And this is just the beginning, because if I go over to competitions, we also are going to be winning the Scottish Cup and the Viaplay Cup. The Scottish Cup is going to be over Celtic in a 4-1 win in extra time. We'll be watching that game for certain. And the Viaplay Cup is going to be a 5-3 win over Celtic. So we have done the treble over Celtic. I'm sure you fans are going to be loving that. But of course, going over to the Date Hub, it is going to be 4.18 goals per game. This is obviously the 4+ goals. Even in the Premier League, they were average 3.74. So you could easily strain that with a few signings with that Arsenal team. 0.5 conceded, over 25 shots a game, an 80% tackle win ratio, and an 87% pass completion. We absolutely cooked. But of course, the Scottish Cup final then, this is going to be the real tale. What actually happened then? So Celtic seem to appear to get off to a very good start. They do. It's a very good goal. Chowdhury obviously knocks that in. Beautiful finish past Butland. We get back into the game inside of 41 minutes. A little give and go there. Beautiful play. On the right-hand side, I was going to square it into the middle, into Danilo. So that tied it up at 1-1. And obviously the drama coming in extra time. Just literally after it kicked off, actually, to be fair. Barisic ball back. What a ball that is. What a floater of a cross. Beautiful to see. A well-deserved goal there. We go again now into Barisic, and it appears to me Celtic crumbled, and they did. Joe Hart there got looped with a header. And of course, they go on and concede one more goal right towards the end. It's going to be a great ball in and a great header. Celtic, they were in it. Put out a very strong team, to be fair to them. They just simply couldn't get the job done. Of course, I'll move to your favourite part of the video. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you guys enjoy rebuilds, come and check out my second channel. You can see it on the screen now. We post rebuilds very often, and that is a new home for your FM rebuilds. But let's go over and talk about ththese tactics. So it is going to be a super keeper coming in simply on support, a wing back on the right on support, on cross more often, sit narrower, and also tackle harder. A ball playing defender on the right, simply on defend on the right, and also that is going to be matched for the left back or the left centre back as well. The left back, however, is going to be a wing back on support, on cross more often, sit narrower, and tackle harder. So it's going to be exactly the same as the right back. Now, depending on what team you're playing as, if you've got one wing back who is, very, very good attacking, for example, AC Milan, Theo Hernandez, you can afford to have one of these on the attacking duty. I will make that very, very clear. The DM in the midfield is going to be on support, on shoot less often, and also tackle harder. Next to a box-to-box on support, on shoot more often, and get further forwards. I've seen Declan Rice have a few cracks this season. I thought, you know what, let's let our midfield player do that, and it did pay off multiple times. The midfield is also going to finish with a Mazzala simply on the default attacking instructions. Again, sometimes I don't need to add any more instructions to a Mazzala. They've already got 5 on them. You don't need to add loads and loads and loads. The inside forward on the right is going to be on support, on sit narrower, and also tackle harder. And on the left is going to be another inside forward on the exact same instructions. Again, if you've got a player with ridiculous finishing, you want to go more attacking, that is where you're going to change that to shoot more often. And lastly, it's going to be the advanced forward on attack, simply on tackle harder. To the team instructions. So over to the team instructions, I do want to quickly say, if you do wish to come over and check out the Patreon, you can do so. There's over 2,700 people. There's over 13 perks for joining the Patreon. Not only does it show some love back to me, but also you get tons of stuff. You get access to all 3 of these tactics. You also going to get the mobile and the console tactics. You get the tactics early, the videos early. Your tactics get prioritized. The rebuild requests get prioritized. I tweak your tactics as well, and you get enrolled into the giveaways monthly, which usually consists of at least £100 giveaway. So definitely come over and check it out. There's a lot going on. But let's talk about this then. So it is going to be set to fairly narrow. By the way, all based off a Tiki Taka on the attacking mentality. Fairly narrow, focus to play down the left and the right hand side. We're going to play out from the back with a shorter passing directness, match with that tempo being set to higher. We're going to run at defence, and we are also going to opt on this occasion for mixed crosses. In transition, it's going to consist of counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and roll the ball out. Out of possession, a very big part of this tactic is of course going to be the high pressing line of engagement, of course the Arteta famous high defensive line, much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution to the attacking variant. So this is perfect to use if you're trying to chase a game, or if you're just feeling really confident, you want to try and get some goal difference, etc, etc. You need all three of these tactics to really get the most out of everything anyway. So I do recommend either downloading them if you are Patreon based, or you can obviously copy and click for click. So the goalkeeper is going to remain the same. Both of the wing backs also remain unchanged, alongside of both of the ball playing defenders remain. There is one tweak, or two tweaks actually: dribble more and also tackle harder. Now the reason why they're going to be on dribble more is because I want these players to come in and actually drive with the ball a little bit. Obviously the likes of Saliba, sorry, I always butcher that. They are very crucial to get involved in the game. Dribble with the ball more, get involved and get stuck in. Now what I will say is, if your players are not confident on the ball, definitely do not have this on, because what will happen is you'll have a player who is not comfortable with centre back trying to drive out from the back with the ball, and he'll simply lose it. So make sure your players are good ball playing defenders. A deep line playmaker comes in on support instead of the DM, simply on tackle harder. A central midfield player on attack comes in on the left on attack, on dribble more, shoot more often, run from position, and also move into channels. And next to him is going to be the Mazzala on attack. So the big difference here is both of these centre backs obviously getting really involved. The deep line playmaker sat there deep and is going to be looking to play the passes, and the central midfield player now obviously comes in and he's purely going to be attacking based. The inside forward on the left is now going to be on attack, on sit narrower, and also tackle harder, and on the right it's going to be exactly the same, whereas the advanced forward simply remains unchanged. So again, it is going to be based off the Tiki Taka on the attacking mentality. The attacking width is going to be set to fairly narrow. We're going to overlap left, overlap right, focus play down the right and the left, and play out from the back. It's a lot of stuff selected, but it is not overkill, it's required. So this means both of the wing backs now are going to be very heavily involved in making really good overlap and runs, and that's really vital in an attacking version of this tactic. A higher tempo matched with a shorter passing directness, mixed crosses, run at defence, and of course now be more expressive. We're trying to get goals, we need to let the players vibe. In transition, it's going to be counter press, counter, distribute quickly, and this time we're going to take a little bit of a different approach. We're going to play it to the flanks. One of the biggest changes, of course, is going to be out of possession, where we're going to opt with the much higher defensive line. The trigger press is going to be maxed out, and because we are going to have the team very high pushed up, it's common sense you need to also have that on. Lastly, to seal out a game, or if you're playing as a real underdog team, of course I've got you guys covered with a defensive/underdog variant. It's going to be a sweeper keeper on the default, a wing back on the right, simply on the default, match with the left-hand side. Both of the ball-playing defenders now are going to be restricted back to default again, because we definitely do not want them making any wild runs. The midfield is going to consist of a defend midfield player on tackle harder, a box-to-box on support, simply on pass it shorter, a central midfield player on support, on pass it shorter, an inside forward on the right on support, on run from position, and pass it shorter. The left-hand side is going to be the same, and I'll quickly explain my thought process behind this. So the midfield is literally going to be very possession-based. The reason why these are on run from position is because they're going to drift into lovely spaces like this, pick up the ball from the box-to-box, spread it across the field, and it's so easy to hold the ball playing this way. And lastly, the deep line forward on attack, of course, on pass it shorter, run from position, and also tackle harder. He is going to play a big part in this sort of five here, because he is going to drop in, get the ball, play it side to side, and you're just going to have so much possession, it's going to be crazy. Again, tiki-taka style on the balance mentality, and we are going to go all the way down to narrow. We're going to play out from the back, we're going to go with much shorter, with a slightly lower tempo. We are also going to go with dribble less, and of course, the mixed crosses. Now, this screams possession. This is going to be a very controlling, frustrating way to put out your team, basically, and a lot of teams will naturally press against you. You can play out of this press and you can go and slowly work your way up the field and get a goal. Yes, you're not going to score 4 goals a game playing this way, but what you are going to do is frustrate oppositions, break them down, get high levels of possession, and get the goal you need. It's a very effective way of playing ball, and with a 4-2-3-1, it works very, very well. The team instructions, again, is going to be set up like this. I've got it already loaded for you because there's a lot to talk about. So we are going to go narrow, play out of defence, much shorter, slightly lower, and dribble less. Now, this is literally for possession. You're going to control your game. You're going to make it very hard to play against, and you're not going to score 4 goals a game playing like this, but you're going to have high levels of the ball, and you're going to break down the opposition very, very easily. In transition, it's going to be counter press, hold shape, and also roll the ball out. Also, I better say, it is still tiki-taka, but this one is going to be balanced, and we are going to go with the standard line. We're still going to keep this as a high press line of engagement. We're still going to max this out because I want a little bit of fight in the team, and because we are going to have that on, we are also going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution. They're going to be your PC tactics covered. Normal, attacking, and defensive. Now to mobile, then to console. Don't go anywhere. Over on console, we enjoyed a fantastic time with Arsenal as well, just shy of winning the Premier League by 2 points. To be expected, I would say, is Man City just about edged that, but we do win the FA Cup against Aston Villa and the Community Shield against Man City. Proven we can beat Man City, and we got a trophy in us, and we nearly won the Premier League, so shy of 2 points. Jesus picks up 35 goals, Martin Odegaard with 29 assists, 110 goals scored and only 36 conceded, meaning we are going to be looking at 2.89 goals per game. which I think is the highest amount of goals per game I've posted for a console tactic, if I'm not mistaken. Only 0.95 conceded, over 18 shots a game, a great tackle win ratio, and an even better pass completion. How did we do on mobile? For anyone playing on mobile, you might want to go over to the Patreon and check it out, because I think this might be a bit broken on mobile, as we win the FA Cup in 3-1 fashion over Brighton, we win the Champions League over Man City in 3-2 fashion, we also win the Carabao Cup in 2-0 fashion over Liverpool. We also go out and we win the Premier League. So we have won so many trophies, it's actually hard to count. It's absolutely insane on mobile. It's a little bit different, obviously, on mobile because you can't play the same way. Saka with 33 goals, Cedric with 33 assists. I mean, some of the stats I'm seeing are absolutely wild. It's incredible on mobile, incredible on console, and incredible on PC. Definitely go and check it out over there, boys. If you have enjoyed today, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.